welcome. This will just be a short extra video to explain, adding and subtracting with numbers with different signs. And this, to me personally, is much easier than doing the number line, because once you move on to higher education and you start doing things like multivariable functions or quadratic equations, you're going to find yourself turning to these instead of trying to draw a number line and then decipher it. It's a lot easier. So now I'm just going to stop talking and we're going to start working. Now, let's just read a few things before we can go. Adding two positive integers will always give a positive number. This is probably the oldest trick in the book and the oldest rule in the book, and the easiest. 4 plus 4, 8. Simple, simple, simple. But I would like to mention that it is understood that unless a number has a negative sign in front of it, it's positive. So this 8, even though it doesn't have a sign, it's understood to be positive simply because it doesn't have a negative sign in front of it. So a positive integer, you're either going to see the positive sign, which you probably won't in most cases, or you won't see a sign at all. But that doesn't make it any less positive because the sign isn't there. Let's move on. Adding two negative integers will always give a negative answer. Funny. We're going to add 4 plus 4 is 8. Simple as that. But we can't just leave it at that. It's two negative integers. Let me highlight that in red. Negative integers. Even though you see this plus sign here, this plus sign is just signifying that you are adding the two negative integers. Right? Just because the plus sign is there doesn't mean that one of them becomes positive. It just means that you're adding these two. So if you add a negative integer and another negative integer, the outcome will be a negative integer. And as such, our 8 becomes negative 8. Simple. Really simple. As long as you remember that when you add two negative integers, you will always get a negative answer. If you're adding two negative integers, it is impossible for you to get a positive answer. It's kind of like DNA, but I'm not really good at science. I'm not going to go into that. All right, now here's where things start to become a bit tricky. I want you to look at these circles here. Do you see the blue circle is bigger than the red circle, and the outcome is a blue circle? Yep. I want you to pretend these signs don't exist right now. Which one is the bigger number? 20 or 5? 20. 20 is the bigger number. Let's put back the signs that were there. Positive 20, negative 5. Now I want you to read something here. If the signs are different, you're going to minus. So we're going to minus here because the signs are different. What does 20 take away 5? 15. Negative 15 or positive 15? Because there's a negative sign right here. I should put a that's correct, right? No. In these instances, the bigger number, whatever the sign is of the bigger number, that is what the sign is going to be for the outcome, for the answer. And 20 is the bigger number. So the outcome will be a positive answer because 20 is a positive number. And here we can even rewrite it in a way that is known and easier. 20 minus 5. 15. And as I said before, unless the number has a negative sign in front of it, it is understood to be positive. So it's the same subtraction. 20 minus 5, positive 15. Easy as pie. Just remember that. All right. Now I think you're wondering, okay, well, if that's the case for that, what about the inverse? What if the signs are switched? Good question. Once again, let's pretend these signs don't exist. What is the bigger number between 20 and 5? 20, once again, you're correct. But this time the 20 carries a negative sign and the 5 carries a positive sign. Once again, because they are negative and positive, and as we read above here, if the signs are different, we're going to minus. So it's 20 minus 5. 15. Now you may be tempted to just leave it and walk away. But that's not what we're doing. We're not going to leave it and walk away. Because 20 has a negative value, and 20 is bigger than 5. So the outcome will be negative. If you draw a number line and you do it yourself, you'll be able to see that the outcome will be negative. 20 is bigger than 5, and 20 carries a negative value. Therefore, the outcome must be negative. Here, in this one here, 20 is greater than 5, and 20 carries a positive value. So the outcome is positive. Here, once again, 20 is greater than 5, but 20 carries a negative value. So the outcome is a negative value. So always remember, in these instances, look at the number that's bigger, and the value that that number carries will be the value of the answer. Let's do one more using this one here. Let's go negative 30 plus 10. We're going to take 30 minus 10, 20. Easy. But between 30 and 10, the bigger number is 30, and 30 carries a negative value. So the answer is actually going to be negative 20. It's simple once you look at it. It's really simple. You just got to keep practicing. And before we go, I want to do one thing with you to test your understanding. Let me put this in yellow, maybe. Or is that too? Yeah, you can see that. Negative 5 plus 5. What's the answer? Which one is bigger? So you can know which sign to put. And then you're scratching your head right now and thinking, but 5 and 5 are the same value. What happens there? Let me rearrange it and see if anything comes to mind. Let's put the positive 5 in front and the negative 5 there. And alternatively, it's understood that that's a positive negative 5. What is the answer to this? Let me make my pencil really big. It's a big fat 0. It's a big fat 0. You see, the thing is, they cancel each other out. You can't. Nothing will come of this except for a 0. And here you will always find that you can rearrange it. So if this negative number in front looks a bit skeptical to you, just move the positive number to the front. 5 minus 5. You cannot take away 5 from 5 and get anything more than 0. It's 0. So you see instances like this, 10 minus 10, or alternatively, negative 10 plus 10. It's 0. 0 across the board, because you can't do that and get anything else but a 0. You know? If you did negative 5 plus 5, plus negative 5, that is, you're going to get negative 10. Easy. But negative 5, positive 5, 0, 0, 0. You can't get anything but a 0. So just remember that, because they're going to want to bring it in exams to see, oh, do you know what you're doing? And you do know what you're doing. So just always remember these rules. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do a few examples for you here, and I'm going to leave the video and hope you guys took away something. Let's do something with the first rule. Positive 5 plus, let's say, 20. They're both positive values. So that means my answer, a positive value, 25. Let's go with negative 10, negative 15. They're the same value, so we're adding here 10 plus 15, 25. But they are negative values, both of them are. So our outcome has to be a negative value. Easy as pie, easy as pie. Let's do another. Let's go negative 100 plus 50. The signs are different, so we should subtract. 100 minus 50, you're going to get... Oh, whoa, what happened to my pen there? 100 minus 50, you're going to get 50. But what is the bigger number between the two? 100. And 100 carries a negative sign. So it's going to be negative 50. Let's do 30. Positive 30, negative 5. It's different, so we're subtracting 25. Oops, I clicked something wrong. We're getting 25 here. But which one is the bigger? And what value does it carry? What sign does it carry, sorry? 30 is the bigger number. And it carries a sign of, it's a positive sign. It's going to be a positive answer. My voice is getting a little hoarse. I've been talking for quite a while. Let's do one more, and then we can go along our merry way. Which one has which number has the value? What is the bigger number, and what value does it have? That's correct, guys. 0, 0 all across the board. There is no bigger number. They're the same number, but they just have differing signs, and they cancel each other out. It's a 0. So I hope this helped you learn about adding and subtracting numbers with different signs. And I do encourage you to go and find some for yourself and try to do it so that you can familiarize yourself. And then this is the foundation for everything that you're going to have to do in higher levels. So it's important that you master this. This is the foundation of a house that's going to make you a very successful person. So just be sure to always remember these rules.